Hey everyone, I hope you're staying safe. I'm going to take you through a quick warm-up before we start our workout. So we're going to start with shoulder circles. Do about 20 going forwards, and then we'll do 20 going back. Then we'll go arms across, just getting our shoulders ready for the workout we're about to do. Then if you need to, you could also do these seated. Then we're going to do some high knees. We could also do these seated as well. So whatever you can do, as long as we're moving, we'll get a good workout in. Next is toe touch. So we're going to take a little step, reach down, come back up, reach down. Can also do this one seated. All right, so now we're going to do two exercises. We'll do air squats, which will look like this. So for this one, we want to make sure our knees do not come in. So imagine you have a box between your legs. Try not to touch that box. This we could also do seated. Same thing, box between your legs. And then the next exercise is going to be rows, which we could use either can of food, so we'll be bent over, pull up. Or if you want something heavier, you could use a backpack. You just add some books to make it heavier. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps of squats, rest a little bit, and then 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps of the rows. So let's start with the squats. We're going to go nice and slow on the way down. It's 10. Now I'd recommend resting at least 15 seconds just before we start the rows. So you get your cans ready or your backpack. I'll do the first one with the cans and then the second one with the backpack. So same thing, 10 to 15 reps. Bent over, keep our back nice and flat. It's 10 reps. And then 15. So again, we're going to rest a little bit before we go back to the squats. So today we're just doing 3 sets, but if you wanted to, you could do 4, or next week you do 4 sets, and then the week after you could do 5, just to progress the workout a little bit harder each week. So let's go back with the squats. I'm gonna do squats to the chair, just as a different alternative, but you could do the regular squats if you want. Same thing, 10 to 15. Make sure you keep your eyes up, chest up, and those knees apart. So we'll rest a little bit. Get your backpack ready if you're going to use a backpack, or you could use the cans of soup or whatever you have. Water bottles will work, water jugs will work. Just a little bit of weight for the rows. Same thing, back nice and flat. Good. All right, we're gonna rest again before we do the next set. So on this last one, I'm going to go back to the regular squats, but if you think the regular ones are too easy, you could even hold your backpack for this one. Same thing, chest stays up, eyes stay straight. And then back always stays flat. So this is for our legs, front of our legs, back of our legs, our hips, even our core. Squats will strengthen. Okay, so again, we're gonna rest a little bit. If you need longer rest, you could just pause the video and then start it back up once you're ready. So we'll do the rows with the backpack again. Remember, back nice and flat. All right, so that's 3 sets of those. If you want to do, you could do 4 sets, but we're going to move on to the next 2 exercises, which are waiter's bow and push-ups. So the waiter's bow, our back is going to stay nice and flat, chest is going to be up, push our hips back, feel a little bit of a stretch in our hamstrings, and then we'll stand up. For the push-up, there's different ways you could do it. So an easier way, hands on the wall, arms come down. Whichever way you choose, we want to make sure we keep our back nice and flat. And we keep our elbows in. We don't want to be out here like a T or down here like an I. We want to make an arrow. So a little harder variation would be hands up on a couch or your bed or a chair. Again, back is nice and flat. Arms are like an arrow. You could also do this from your knees. Same thing, arms like an arrow. And then the harder variation is a regular push-up. Okay, so we're gonna do the bow and then the push-up, 3 rounds, 10 to 15 reps of each. Then we'll rest a little bit in between. So we'll start with the bow. Feet are gonna be about shoulder width. Again, back nice and flat, chest stays up. Push our hips back, feel a stretch, then stand back up. Just think pushing your butt towards the wall. You could also do a variation when you're sitting. So just reach back or reach down. Same thing, back stays nice and flat. Come back up. Good. So we'll rest a little bit and then we'll do our push-ups. So whichever variation on the wall, on the chair, on the floor is good for you will work. So same thing, we're gonna do 10 to 15 reps. Again, arms are gonna be like an arrow. All right, we're gonna rest a little bit and then go back to the bow. So just like with the squat, we could hold a weight to do the bow. So the next round I'm gonna use the cans, and then the last one I'll use the backpack. Same thing, back stays nice and flat, chest stays up. Wanna feel it in our hamstrings and then come back up. It's 10. Always focus on keeping your back nice and flat. Good. So now we'll do the push-ups. So this time I'll do them with my hands up. You can put your hands on a couch or a bench, your bed. Anything nice and sturdy will work. Same thing, we want to keep our body nice and flat when we do these push-ups. And again, always want to be an arrow with your arms. Five more. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna rest a little bit and then I'm gonna do the bows with the backpack for this round. All right. So if you're gonna use a backpack or even like a heavy book will work, you're just gonna hug it against your chest. Keep your back nice and flat. Push your hips back, come back up. Just keep a little bit of a bend in your knees. All right, we'll do one more set of push-ups today, but again, if you want to do 4 rounds, you can do 4 rounds. All right, we're gonna rest a little bit. So these next 2 are planks and glute bridge. So I'll show you 2 different ways you can do the plank. We'll do these from our elbows. So the easier version is gonna be on your knees. Whichever version you choose, we just wanna make sure your back stays nice and flat. So if you go from your knees or from your toes, just want to stay nice and flat. The second exercise is going to be a glute bridge, where we'll lay on our back, feet about shoulder width, push our heels into the floor, and then lift our butt up. All right, so what those 2 look like. And now we'll start with the planks. So we'll do the elbows first. And the time you want to get is between 20 and 45 seconds. If you need to, you could go shorter. And if you feel 45 is too easy, you could go longer. Just want to make sure our elbow is right under our shoulder. Our butt is down. We don't want our butt up. Nice and flat back. All right, so we'll do a little bit of resting and then those glute bridge. So remember, feet are going to be shoulder width. We're going to push our heels into the floor and then lift our butt up. So we want to go nice and controlled with this. We don't want to go too fast or too slow. Stay in control. All right, so we'll rest and then do those planks again. So the next round I'll show them from my knees. Same thing, back stays nice and flat, elbows right under our shoulders. All right, so let's rest. And then we'll do glute bridge. So same thing, we're gonna do 3 rounds of this. But if you wanted to, you can do 4 rounds or even 5 rounds. So we're gonna drive through our heels, lift our hips up. All right, so we're gonna do 1 more round. Remember, elbows are right under our shoulders and our back is nice and flat. We don't want our hips to be down too low. All right, so we're gonna rest. And then today we'll just do 1 more round of those glute bridges and then we're gonna be done. Drive through your heels. That's 15, we're all done. So, next time you do this workout, you try doing more sets to make it more difficult, or use a little bit more weight, either with heavier cans or add a book or 2 to your backpack just to make it heavier. Good job to everyone that finished the workout. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep active.